Hello, my name is Jesus Gonzalez, and I am passionate about technology, especially in the fields of cloud solutions and artificial intelligence. Since last year, I have been deeply involved in this area, driven by the significant rise of generative artificial intelligence. Throughout my career, I have had the opportunity to delve into these areas, and I am currently certified as a solutions architect in both AWS and GCP. My goal is to share knowledge and help others harness the power of the cloud and artificial intelligence to create innovative and efficient solutions. Today, we are going to talk about an AWS service called Amazon Bedrock, which is designed to simplify and accelerate the development of generative AI applications. It provides a wide variety of LLM models and other third-party models, and AWS also has its own models that they have trained themselves. This allows developers to build, train, and deploy their own AI applications without having to manage the infrastructure, meaning these are serverless services. Bedrock facilitates the creation of chatbots, virtual assistants, recommendation systems, sentiment analysis, personalized content generation, and much more. By providing a solid foundation for working with advanced AI models, its main goal is to make artificial intelligence more accessible and easier to integrate into enterprise applications, accelerating development time, and reducing technical complexity. This video is intended to be more practical, so you can start getting familiar with the platform, and we will be working on the service in the AWS console. I have already logged into my AWS account, so the next step is to search for the Amazon Bedrock service, which you can do from the AWS service search bar. This is the main page, where we are given a brief overview of what Amazon Bedrock is, its benefits, and the models it supports. As of now, it includes models from AI21, Anthropic, Cohere, Stability AI, Amazon, and Meta. If we click on the menu, it displays all the services. As you can see, the suite is quite extensive. So in this video, we will only cover a part of it. And I will create more videos later on, so that you can get to know the suite in more detail. The first thing it asks us to do when we enter Amazon Bedrock is to enable the models, because initially, all the models are disabled, and you need to request access. So we would go to Bedrock Configurations, then to Model Access. And in this case, we see all the available models, and also which ones are already enabled. I have already enabled some of them to run tests, observe their behavior, see how they work, review their use cases, etc. To request access and enable the models, we go to Modify Model Access, and in this case, we can see which ones are already enabled. Additionally, if we want to enable others, they are displayed here, grouped by provider. For example, we can see the models from AI21, all the models from Amazon, the models from Anthropic, Cohere, Meta, Mistral AI, and Stability AI. In this case, it's not necessary to request access for any of them, because I have already requested them earlier. In this video, we will be working on the Getting Started menu option, Foundation Models, and a bit about Playgrounds. If we go to the Overview option, we will notice the providers I mentioned earlier, such as AI21 Labs, Titan by Amazon, Claude by Anthropic, Command by Cohere, Llama by Meta, Mistral by Mistral AI, and Stable Diffusion by Stability AI. The Playground section also appears, where we will see some predefined use cases, and we can work with them, see how they behave, and run some tests. For this, the prompts are already defined in each of these playgrounds. There are also some sessions or labs that you can work on if you want to learn more about Bedrock. Additionally, there's a tab called Build and Test, where you can evaluate some models. In this case, we will still be working on the Explore and Learn tab, so we will click on one of them, for example, AI21. Here, we see information about the company, including a link to their main website. If we click on it, we can visit their page, where we can find more detailed information. AI21 is a company that has worked extensively on artificial intelligence. As I understand it, they started in 2017 and have worked on natural language processing and machine learning. They later specialized in developing large language models, or LLMs. Regarding their models, they named them Jamba Instruct, Jurassic 2 Ultra, and Jurassic 2 Mid. We are given a brief description of their models, and some use cases are also provided, which we can work on. Additionally, we can see some attributes, such as supported use cases and the scenarios in which they are most optimized. For example, text generation, document summarization, and questionnaire cases where questions and answers are required. We also see the model version, the maximum number of tokens, which in this case is 256,000. This is the largest I've seen, even compared to ChatGPT, one of the most well-known models, which supports half, at 128,000 tokens. We can also see the supported languages, and in this case, it only supports English. That's all about this model. If we go to Jurassic 2 Ultra, we see that it only supports 8,191 tokens. It also shows the supported use cases and some attributes, the version, and supported languages. In this case, it supports more languages: English, Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, Italian, and Dutch. If we go to Jurassic 2 Mid, it also shows the supported use cases and attributes, which in this case are for text usage, classification, insert, edit tasks, and mathematics. The version, supported languages, and an important part is that we will also be able to check the prices. For now, we will not focus on that. I'll just mention that there are two types of pricing they might charge you. One is on demand, meaning you are charged based on the number of requests, specifically based on the number of tokens used in both the request and the response. The other is provisioning, which is useful if you have an estimate of the number of tokens you will need both for requests and responses, maybe on a monthly basis, and you could request resource provisioning to reduce costs. On the other hand, we can see Amazon's models, all of which start with the name Titan. They have 5 models for different supported use cases so far. Here as well, the supported formats, attributes, and use cases are listed, and they tell us that it is for text handling, semantic similarity, and clustering. The supported languages are numerous, and this is growing as well. They also tell us about another model they have, Titan Text, and we can see that it is lighter. Apologies. I was forgetting that the previous one supports 8,000 tokens. This light model supports 4,000 tokens and is a bit lighter. We can also view the use cases, which are for fine-tuning, text generation, and rich text formatting. If we click on Express, we can see all the use cases. We also see that they might have models for image generation. And here we see the supported formats: JPEG, JPG, and PNG. We can also see that it supports text-to-image, image-to-image, background removal, and image conditioning. This means we could provide a reference image, and based on that image, it would start creating some versions with certain modifications defined by prompts. We can also see the version, the maximum number of tokens supported, and that's all. There is also a tab for additional models, in case there is another one not listed here. We can also find the models from Anthropic, which have become very popular, because there are some tools based on these models that are used for code generation. This is one of the most relevant things I've seen lately. We can see that they support 200,000 tokens, which is quite high, although the ones that support the highest number of tokens are from AI21. We can also see models from Cohere, Meta, Mistral AI, and Stability AI, whose most famous model is Stable Diffusion. Continuing with the overview option, we notice that they already have some examples, one of which we will work with. One of those I have already enabled, like this one, Career Coach Roleplay, and we could work with this one. Let's click on Open in Playground. As we can see, the prompt is already set, and the instructions are that it will act as an AI career coach named Joe, created by the company AI Career Coach Co., with further details. If we notice, it supports information upload through files. We will click on the Run button to start its execution. And perfect. It's now running with the instructions defined in the previous prompt. Once it is running, a text box is enabled where we can interact and ask, for example, I want to learn the basics of AI. What do you recommend to start with? Through the magic of editing, we're going to remove a few seconds of execution to make the video a bit more seamless. It gives us the following response. That's a great question. The best place to begin, in my opinion, is with the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. I'd recommend starting with some online courses or tutorials that cover topics like. We could also specify that the output be in another language supported by the model, but for now, we will leave it as is, with the output in English. Continuing with the response, it gives us some recommendations of online courses or tutorials to start, such as the history and evolution of AI, the different branches and applications of AI, machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, key AI algorithms and techniques like neural networks, decision trees, and reinforcement learning, the role of data in AI systems, etc. As I mentioned earlier, we can specify that the output be in another language, such as Spanish, for example. To do this, we will write the following prompt. Could you write the output in Spanish, please? And click on the Run button. We need to wait. Once it finishes, it delivers the output or instructions in Spanish, just as we requested through the prompt. And that's what this specific use case does. And that's all we'll cover in this video. In the upcoming ones, we'll focus on reviewing more use cases and how we can integrate them into our source code in Python. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you found it useful.